Well, here we are in the studio with this special car, the Hula Girl. Built in 1952 by Bill Montero Sr. and Jr., they took this very straight 32, put the drop axle in the front, the hydraulic brakes on it, put a V8 into it, using all the period hot rod equipment so that they could take the car and show it at the Oakland Roadster Show, put custom paint on it, put the gauges that are still in it today. So this is a real vintage hot rod. Then in 1955, one of Bill Montero's fellow club members said he'd like to buy the car. A deal was struck and they sold the car, but with a condition that they would channel the car over the frame like they had done to one of their other cars. It was put into this new configuration and shown again at the 1955 Oakland Roadster Show, which is unusual to have a car go to the Oakland Roadster Show twice. It was kept in show condition, but then he pulled the motor out and replaced it with a huge racing engine. It got as high as 106 miles an hour running on 20% nitro. Then the car was put away for about 34 years. Jerry Ash, who went to high school with the Monteros, hunted the car down and brought it back to Stuart, Florida in 1994. And that's where the rebirth of it started. The goal was to just restore it back to its previous glory. The full race engine was taken out of it. The Arden-headed engine that is in it now was installed. The headlights, front valence, running boards, trunk, door, dash, instruments, as well as the whole front axle are all pretty much as they were on the first car back in the early 50s. So they've upgraded the car, but with all the period correct stuff. Jerry Ash took the car in 1997 back to the Oakland Roadster Show for its third time. It got second in the Roadster class, quite a feat. We sold this car back in 2006. It was one of our feature cars. Rarely do these period correct hot rods come along. We sold it, a friend of mine bought it, and one day when I saw him, I was like, "How's the Hula Girl doing?" He goes, "I never drive it." And I go, "That's a shame. You want to sell it?" And it ended up in my collection. Now I added something, because I used to drive the car quite a bit. So after I got stranded one night, I added an alternator to it. I also had Arizona street rods go back through the engine and make sure that I could drive it, and I have driven it. This is the epitome of a period correct vintage hot rod. And the Hula Girl has been immortalized in the Barrett-Jackson expansion pack of the Forza video game franchise. It's going up for sale. I've had it for over a decade. I've enjoyed the car. Here's your chance to buy a real Deuce built back in the day, coming to you at No Reserve Scottsdale 2021 at No Reserve.